things you can do as a young driver which will make a massive difference, which it did for me, and they are perfectly legal. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Got some useful advice for you this week, although it's probably aimed more at younger drivers. You know, if you watch my channel, I assume you're on the younger side. I know not all of you are, and if you're looking at a car like this or anything similar, these are questions you're going to be asking yourself anyway. Let's just jump straight into it. Car insurance as a young driver on a performance car could be the difference between whether you actually can afford to have the car or not, because especially in the UK it's absolutely crazy just how expensive it is for anyone below the age of 25. If you take age out of the comparison, so let's say you've got two people that are 20 years old, the single biggest difference between how much your insurance premium is going to be will be based off your postcode, where you live. That has the biggest effect, and it's also one of the things you can't really do anything about where you live. Chances are you'll be using a comparison site such as Confused. Confused is just the site that I use. No real reason or preference why, it was just the first one I popped onto. I can assume all of you are using a comparison site like that, but what if you're not too familiar with them, you jump on it, there's like a million different things that it asks you, and there's almost an infinite number of combinations you can have, and it can sometimes get a bit confusing because a lot of the things aren't going to be making a difference, so you it's almost, if you're new to it, it's hit and miss on which ones you should be playing around with to try and get your premium lower. Oh wow, a lot of potholes. But the two things that I stumbled on personally that worked for me, I experienced them myself on both sides. You need to be doing it, otherwise you are seriously going to be getting ripped off as a young driver trying to get insured on anything like this. So the first thing you need to be doing, regardless of where you live, what you do, is to be adding your parents onto your policy. First do your mum and then add your dad. I mean, the science behind this is that the less miles you're doing behind the wheel of this performance car, the safer it is. That's how it works for insurers. It's all about statistics. And for myself, the moment I did that, it dropped my initial quote by over £1,000. So how much did I actually pay for my insurance for the first year? When I was 20 years old on a CLA 45 AMG, it was £2,000. I'll wave the actual figure around somewhere. And yeah, before I actually added my parents onto it, it was about £3,500, and that's not illegal. What is illegal is fronting, and what that is where you're not the policyholder. You're insuring yourself on your parents' insurance policy, and you're added on as like the second or third driver. A lot of people do that, yeah, but don't do it, because, well, if the whole illegal thing isn't enough to put you off, you're not building up your own no claims bonus, which is a bit, long term, you're shooting yourself in the foot there. I've always had my own policy, and because of that, I'm 21 now, but I've got 4 years no claims bonus, and with each year that adds up. So if I wanted to go to something crazier than this, my insurance isn't going to be absolutely ridiculous compared to someone who's got like 1 or 2 years no claims bonus. I mean, don't go crazy. Don't go and add like your aunties and your uncles and your brothers and your sisters, and you know what, you can try it and see what happens, but personally I didn't do that. I just added my mum and dad, and instantly that made a massive difference. By the way guys, if you think this long sleeve tee is pretty cool, I think it is. I quite like the whole checkered flag vibes. Be sure to check out Avenir Apparel. I'll leave all their links and all the rest down below in the comments. So yeah, be sure to check those guys out. Similar stuff to the one that I'm wearing, and they do all sorts, tops, jeans, outerwear. The second big thing is something that actually caught me out when I actually bought this car. A bit of a funny story, and I hope it doesn't happen to you. I bought this car from Leeds Mercedes, which is about 50 miles away from here. Normally when you buy a car, you can usually drive away on dealership insurance, which that's the assumption that I was under. So I went there, kind of did all the paperwork. They tried to put me on, when it came to actually getting me insured under the dealership, there was an issue. Basically, they couldn't do it because it was an AMG vehicle, and my age, I was 20 at the time, so that caused a bit of a fuss. So I thought, you know what, it's the 21st century, I'll just jump online, I'll just get myself insured now, there and then I could drive away with it. So when I logged in, I already knew how much it should have been, around that £2,000 mark. I'd been looking for months in advance. When I came to do it, it came to £4,000, and I almost pooed my pants basically, because on the spot there I was thinking, I've just bought a car that I can't actually insure myself on. I was really confused. So thankfully my dad had actually come with me, so when I'd bought the car, I couldn't drive it home. My dad had to drive the car home, which was interesting. Not what you wanted. So when I got home, I logged back online onto the comparison site. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like, I hadn't changed anything from before, and the prices I was getting were still in that £3,000-4,000 mark. And then I realised I set the date to like 1 week later into the future. All of a sudden, it had come back down to £2,000. So, as silly as that sounds, the date you actually put in for the for the policy start date makes a difference. I tried to do it as low as possible, so I did 3 days, and it was still a few £100 more expensive than what I'd originally found. 2 days, again, like £500-600 more expensive, and then to do it for the next day is like over £1,000 more expensive. So I think that's a bit sly. What they bank on is, when people are in a rush and you just want to get insured, you're more likely to just pay it. And I almost got caught out with that, and at the end of the day I wasn't going to pay double what I was originally seeing. So yeah, my advice to you, if you're looking to buy a car or you've already bought the car, make sure you always set the policy start date for like a week later into the future, because it definitely will be more expensive. Anyway guys, I hope this video has been useful to some of my younger viewers. These are things that you should be doing even if you've not got a performance car, really. If it's like your first car, if you're basically below the age of 25, I seriously recommend doing that, because it's just, you're just throwing away money for the hell of it. And those are things that I didn't do on when I had the 1 Series. I didn't do that. And in my first year of driving, it was seriously expensive, and I'm kicking myself now. If you did find it useful, give this video a thumbs up, and also hit there's a little notification bell thing at the bottom of the video if you want to be notified immediately of my next video. I do try and get content out every week. Try to make it useful. Some of it, like last week, is just being immature and having a bit of fun, but I try to mix it up every now and then. So as always guys, thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.